stop using probationary periods. Okay, so this is a U-turn on previous advice I've been giving for many years, but in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why. I'm Jenefer, I'm the founder of Silk Helix, and in this video, I want to talk to you about probationary periods and why I think that they are not worth doing. So, what is a probationary period? Well, they usually 3 to 6 months, and they're a kind of trial period at the beginning of employment. Since 2020, we've had to include them in the statement of particulars that we issue at the beginning of employment, but actually they have no legal definition. There's no legal length, there's no legal real meaning to having a probationary period. So why are we having them? Well, historically, I've kind of given the advice, well, we do it because it reminds managers to sort of monitor performance, it reminds individuals that this is a learning period and that they're on review and that they need to demonstrate that they are the right person for the job. But actually now when I think about it, looking at kind of current culture, looking at the choice people have got in terms of the jobs they go to, I'm not so sure that's a good idea, and particularly putting people on trial periods, it just doesn't give the right feeling. So those positives that I've been given, the reasons for doing it, now I'm looking at going, how can we be more efficient? How can HR stop doing waste of time activities? And for me, probationary periods is absolutely up there. Number one, stop using them. The main disadvantages with probationary periods is that people don't feel part of the team. I've discovered recently that people are doing things like not updating their LinkedIn profile until their probationary period's complete. People are seeing this as kind of not really being in the role, perhaps still being part of the recruitment process. And that was one of the big things that made me start to question what we're doing and why are we doing it. That's not great. 6 months of working somewhere and not really feeling part of the team, that's not a good start to any employment relationship. And on top of that, they're creating all this admin. We get to the end of the 6 months and we get managers to fill in a form, to have a meeting. We then follow that up with a letter. And most of the time, we're confirming that the person successfully passed their probation. And the reality is, managers don't suddenly sit down with that form and go, oh yeah, they've failed their probation. Just doesn't happen. They know before that this person's not right for the role. They can see that the person's not performing. So what should we be doing instead? Well, managers should be using this time as a kind of induction, onboarding, whatever you want to call it. But this is about welcoming people in. This is about making them feel part of the team. This is about introducing them to places, people, the technology, the systems, the company. This is about the things that people need to learn during that period. This is about how we set somebody up to be successful in their role, how we motivate them, how we really quickly integrate them into the team. All of that needs to be planned. We need to look at, well, in 6 months' time, what do we expect that this new starter will be achieving in their role? And then how do we make sure that they get to that point? How do we make sure they've got the tools, the resources, the information to be able to achieve that? And we should be planning that before people start so they feel welcomed in and so that they get the support that they need to be able to be successful in the role. And if there's problems, we should be picking them up quickly. There should be a conversation. There should be regular conversations. We shouldn't suddenly 6 months down the line be sitting down with somebody to tell them whether or not they're doing a good job. They should know before that. We should be telling them when they're achieving well. We should be telling them where things are going wrong. There will be things that you need to highlight in those early periods where somebody's learning the ropes. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get things wrong. And if they're not picked up and corrected quickly, then yes, you're going to have somebody who's not successful or doesn't feel fully integrated. But we all know that recruitment isn't a science, and sometimes it goes wrong, and there are some people who are fantastic at selling themselves in recruitment, come to do the job and they just can't do it. What do we do then? Well, the reality is that we've got this 2-year period before people can claim a straightforward unfair dismissal. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of unfair dismissal today. I'm really briefly just going to explain that you've got a straightforward unfair dismissal, which 2 years service before you can claim that. There is automatic unfair dismissal. So for example, if you dismiss someone for a discriminatory reason, then that's going to be an automatic unfair dismissal. But we've got that 2 years, and that means that effectively we've got a 2-year probationary period that we don't need to shout about, and we can just use it. So Instead of putting everyone through the process and doing the admin for everyone, let's just do the admin and deal with the person that isn't performing. Let's set the expectations. Let's give them the tools, give them the resources, give them the training that they need to be successful. And if that person then isn't successful, isn't doing what we're expecting of them, then let's deal with it. And we can dismiss relatively easily without going through a full disciplinary process if we need to, and if we've been really clear about what the expectations are and that they're not meeting them. We just don't need this probationary period. We've got this 2-year period where we can deal with issues if they arise. And if somebody turns out not to be the person that you thought they were in the recruitment process, you're going to find that out in 2 years. You're just going to know, and you're going to deal with it. And you're going to deal with it without needing all of the admin for everybody else that isn't in the same boat. So that's it. That's why I've changed my advice. That's why I'm no longer advising probationary periods. I think that we, especially in the current climate, we really should be looking to streamline. We should be looking to integrate people. We should be looking at getting the best out of people, motivating people, and probationary periods do not help with that. I've been advising on probationary periods for years, and it's only now that I'm really thinking about this and going, actually, I'm U-turning. I'm giving different advice. But I'd really welcome your thoughts. Put your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a discussion about this. Should we be using probationary periods or shouldn't we? And if you're enjoying watching my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single one.